Hi, I'm Christopher. I'm a product manager for an energy efficiency nonprofit, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a hybrid heat pump clothes dryer. My wife and I got this a couple years ago and just thought it'd be useful to kind of highlight some of the differences that this has with other dryers on the market. The technology is really common in Europe, but relatively new to the United States. And before I go any further, I want to just disclaim I don't have any paid relationship with any manufacturer or retailer. I'm just sharing stuff that I've observed about this machine in the last 2 years. So why would you want to buy a heat pump clothes dryer? It's because they use a lot less energy. In a pure heat pump dryer, they use about half the energy of a conventional dryer. And a conventional dryer is the biggest energy user in your house. It uses more energy than your clothes washer, your dishwasher, and your refrigerator combined. So a hybrid heat pump clothes dryer is a little different than a standard machine in that it has actually a dehumidifier integrated to it. So in addition to having an electric heater that heats up the air to dry the clothing, this one also has a dehumidifier that actually extracts the water out of the clothing. And that heat is then recycled back into the drum, making it more efficient. The features on this thing are very similar to other washers and dryers. It's got all the standard kind of casual, delicate, bulky, all that jazz. But what is unique about this hybrid is because you can switch between conventional heating and a heat pump, a dehumidifier function. It's actually got an eco, balanced, or speed setting, allowing you to choose the level of efficiency. Essentially, the eco is pretty much running on the full heat pump, and the speed is using more of the conventional heat. That heat is then recycled and put back into the drum, making it more efficient. Feature-wise, same kind of basic system. This one's got a butterfly lint filter. You got to open it up, wipe out the lint. Pretty much standard. What is unique about this machine also is that because it's a heat pump, it's got a little heat exchanger in it, and so it has a secondary filter. And this little guy needs to be cleaned out about once every 3 cycles. And it's the same game. You wipe out the filter. This particular model has a little foam thing that you occasionally wash out, much less frequently. Put that in there, slap that in. Good to go. The features, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about installing it and what might be unique about the installation of a hybrid or heat pump clothes dryer. First of all, this one is ventless, and so if you do get a ventless machine, you're actually able to push it a little closer to the wall because it doesn't have an exhaust hose. And that has an additional benefit is that you don't have to clean it out annually and worry about the lint buildup in that. The more important distinction, though, is that this thing is going to extract water out of your clothing. It's going to condense the water and drain it into the same location where your clothes washer drain is. So back here, this black hose is the clothes washer drain, and the copper hose is where you connect up and drop your clothes dryer hose into the same location that your clothes washer drains. All right, so let's talk a little bit about how long it takes, what it sounds like, and what does it do to your room. So the machine takes a little longer than a conventional dryer. On a speed setting, maybe 10 minutes. On a typical load, on an eco setting, maybe 20-25 minutes. So if you've got a lot of loads, they might be aware of that. The noise it makes is a little different as well. Mr. Squirrel. It's got a little tonality, a little whoo. That's the actual heat pump running, kind of like a refrigerator. And so while it's running, it's actually adding a little heat to the room. And if you got a very small laundry room, it's going to get a little warm. It's going to get a little more damp for a little while, and then it's going to dehumidify that out. So we commonly leave the door open or a little fan on, not a big deal. If you are in a climate that is got a hot, muggy climate, you might not want to actually use a unvented variety. There are vented varieties of a heat pump. But otherwise, in the north, where you've got heating needs, this is actually a pretty cool thing. It warms up your house during the winter. All right, so this was the Whirlpool Hybridcare washer and dryer set. And from my perspective, it's a great value.